Now to every retail investor's dream, scooping up a whole bunch of penny stocks that end up delivering you a fortune. And that frenzied pace of penny stocks is drowning out all of the speculative mania in the pandemic era market. Take the little known, and little known is probably an understatement here, clean energy company Blue Sphere. Chat rooms were blowing up overnight on Reddit, StockTwits, and other forums just hours before Blue Sphere's 451% boom last week. On the phone to discuss what exactly is going on is markets reporter Sarah Ponczek, who wrote about this topic today for Bloomberg News. Okay, Sarah, before we get to the details, why penny stocks?
So the idea here is that if you want to quote unquote get rich quick, an easy and fast way to do that is penny stocks. Especially lately, we've been seeing penny stocks go from almost zero to hero very, very quickly and often lately. For example, last month, if you look at OTC stocks, that stands for over the counter. So these are stocks that don't trade on classic exchanges like the NASDAQ and the NYSE. We saw trading volume above 1 trillion. That hasn't happened in a decade and is very, very rare. So this is happening often now. And if you think about how much money it takes to buy shares of a penny stock that might not even trade for a penny yet, in the case of Blue Sphere, the company that you just alluded to and the company that I wrote the story about, before that 450% pop, one share did not even cost 1 penny. Rather, it was fractions of a penny. So the idea is that if you really want to get in on a big pop here, you can buy plenty of shares of a company and it won't run up your balance too high because many of these penny stock companies aren't even worth a penny yet.
Right. Okay. So to that end, as you note in your piece, 451% of an increase for this company, Blue Sphere, that represents a rise from 0.6 of 1 penny, Sarah, to over 3 cents a share. So I mean, penny stock is sort of like a misnomer here because it wasn't even worth a penny. I do wonder what this frenzy says about the broader market, and I couldn't help when reading your piece just thinking back to like the penny stock pump and dump days of like the boiler room era, right?
Right. Well, that's exactly what some say, and there's also there's a relation to and a connection in a way to what we've been seeing going on lately with GameStop and Wall Street bets and that phenomenon too. Granted, they are separate, but it's similar where you have a group of people and they are talking in chat rooms, whether that be on StockTwits like I lay out in this story, or whether that's on a subreddit on Reddit like a Wall Street bets, or there's also a penny stocks forum now, our penny stocks, that has become very popular lately. Now it has over 430,000 members. That's up more than 20% already from the start of the year. So we've seen tremendous growth there as more and more people learn about this and become interested and kind of want a piece of this. So those who are professional investors look at this all together and say it's a marker of froth possibly in the market, that we see euphoria. They draw connections to the dot-com days, late 99. Obviously, that presaged the time. That was a very long and painful bear market for stocks. Granted, we've been hearing this, though, for months now from professional investors that this is going to end badly, and we haven't quite seen it yet. Now, on the legal side, like you alluded to, those old pump and dump schemes of yesteryear, there are definitely connections here, and I've had a lot of people ask me about the legal implications of this. Are regulators going to look into this? Will the SEC step in? Same story for what's going on with Wall Street bets and GameStop right now. But there's a fine line to draw because the idea is that it's very difficult for regulators to actually find and point to the beginning of whatever it may be in which people come together and either spread lies or spread false information or spread non-public information. So it's a difficult line to draw.
Sarah, very briefly, markets are supposed to be efficient. Does this throw water on the thesis and the theory that markets are efficient?
It's the question that's been asked for a couple of months now. Look, I think markets are still understood to be efficient, but when you have the amount of retail traders that we do have in the market now and who are working together, there is a possibility. I don't want to use the word manipulate because that does point to legality or illegality, but at the same time, there is the potential that you can move markets now if you have enough heft behind the trade.